I'm your host, as always, Rich Quinones. 2 hours to play with. We'll take it up to 6 o'clock straight up. Tyler on the other side of glass, producing the show, keeping us on the air. Hope everyone had a good sports weekend. You are enjoying your Tuesday, as I mentioned, the 12th of October, 2021. Don't forget the 609-445-1490. That'll get you involved in 2A Sports Talk. Bring something to the table. You can get social with us as well at 1490. Sports Bet at Rich Q on Q. Football heavy today. A lot of stuff to get into today. A little mixed bag, a little potpourri. Johnny Mack will actually join us tomorrow around 4:20 today. Danny Burke's going to join us, who does a really nice job. He's a live host, Rush Hour. You catch him here Monday to Friday, 5 to 6 Central Time. So he's on right after me. Lloyd Vance in the 5 o'clock hour. So we'll get into the Eagles. We'll get into really an ugly, but a win is a win in the NFL, is it not? Win over Carolina on Sunday. A just debacle of a Giant season, taking another hit with all these injuries. You had a great game last night, Monday Night Football. People are still having a haul on whether Lamar Jackson is a legit quarterback or not. We'll go around the league, pretenders, contenders. We got you covered, but you got to start, and we'll definitely get into baseball and a little bit on the Ben Simmons issue, because I have my thoughts on Kyrie with the Nets as well. But, you know, you got to start with the Gruden story, do you not? I mean, if you're doing this for a living, how do you not start with Jon Gruden and the debacle that is Jon Gruden and the Las Vegas Raiders? And if you've been hiding under a rock for the last 24 to 48 hours, Jon Gruden's resignation as coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, after, I guess you can say, a trove of old emails, revealed he frequently used misogynist, racist, homophobic language, not only discussing the league, its players and officials, and also the commissioner. These emails, the contents, were published by the New York Times on Monday. They became public after Gruden apologized for a different email that characterized the players' union leader via a racial term. And it's bad enough the Raiders fall to a bad Bears team on Sunday, and then Gruden resigns during on Monday night. And it's funny, too, right? He resigned during Monday Night Football. Right, the irony. He spent 9 years there, which included the years he sent these emails. Now, in this story, there's so many layers to peel back with this story. So the behavior came under scrutiny because WSJ, the Wall Street Journal, uncovered an email sent in 2011, which, again, a racial slander to describe Executive Director DeMurray Smith. Then he sent that to former NFL General Manager Bruce Allen. I mean, it's crazy, because then Jon Gruden turns around and says, I don't have a racial bone in my body, and I've proven that for 58 years. No, you do. You really, really do. You used a homophobic term in an email to refer to then the St. Louis Rams' decision to select Michael Sam, who, oh, by the way, was an openly gay defensive end back in 2014. And, oh, by the way, the Raiders have a player, Carl Nassib, who's currently on the roster, who came out. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on and on. And if you really think about it, and I said this at the time when he signed that 10-year, $100 million deal, I never liked Jon Gruden. Jon Gruden might have helped Tampa win a Super Bowl. That wasn't his team. That was Dungy's team. But every year when a coach got fired, it was always Jon Gruden, Jon Gruden, Jon Gruden. So the Raiders right now sit at 3-2. He was a third of his way into his fourth season, and they sit at 22-31 overall. This guy's a couple games over 500, head coach in the NFL. He's nobody. He's nothing special. He's not. But this story where the plot thickens, as they say, is that if you don't think for 1 minute this guy is not a is not homophobic or racist. I mean, come on. This is a horrible look for him, the NFL. And it's even worse. How about ESPN? ESPN, that's want to tuck and hide and not even address this. There are emails where he argued that Eric Reed, an NFL player that protested alongside Colin Kaepernick, they knelt during the national anthem, should be fired. He got on Goodell, calling him a clueless anti-football, I can't go on and say the word, because they shouldn't have pressured Fisher, who was coach of the Rams, to, quote, draft queers, a reference to Michael Sam. I mean, this is how this guy thinks. This is how he thinks. And the timing of everything, the leaks, right? Now, it depends upon how you handle the situation. You get some emails back and forth at work. Some people ignore them. Some people respond, I don't want any parts of this. Or some people turn around. And I don't think it's really being a rat or diming out. And bring it to the attention of, say, a manager or whoever's in charge. Or HR. But how about the timing, right? Because think about this. In July, the NFL managed to come out with this conclusion that the Washington football team's investigation and to conceal the specific results of it, remember? So now you got all this, these events now surrounding Gruden, which, let's be honest, there was a selective leaking of emails that he sent to Bruce Allen, who was then former Washington President Bruce Allen, which tells me, okay, give me a little more transparency here. I mean, seriously, why did the Gruden emails get out? Somebody ran to the Wall Street Journal. Somebody ran to the New York Times. Why now? I mean, think about everyone who's on these email chains or responded or went along or giggled or laughed or mocked or added fuel to the fire. You think they're going to have a job? Or they're not supposed to be held culpable or accountable? You know, let's be honest, man. You're Roger Goodell. What's he getting? 25, 30, 40 million a year? You think this guy's really good at his job? No, he's not. But Roger Goodell knows exactly where all the bodies are buried. All of them. You know it. I know it. The owners know it. The NFLPA knows it. The players know it. The fans know it. The media knows it. And I'm not going to sit here for a woman and say, oh, Gruden was a target. No, man, you made your bed. Now you're lying it, my friend. Because you just come off as a fraud. And here's the one thing. You come off as a fraud, not a good person, not of high moral standard or character or integrity. And like I said, homophobic, and you're a racist. Yeah, you can't really debate this one. You can't. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And here's the irony of all ironies, by the way, right? The Raiders and Al Davis, when he was alive, was at the forefront of thinking outside the box. Say whatever you want about Davis, but he was indeed at the forefront. He was. Did he not hire a minority head coach in Tom Flores? He did. Did he not hire the first African-American head coach in Art Shell? He did. Did he not hire one of the very first females to take a position in the front office in Amy Trask? He did. And you have a guy in Gruden that's supposed to be the silver and black and just win, baby, and basically be everything that is supposed to be good about that franchise and the Raiders. And then thinking of the outside the box, and you just attach the word hypocrisy next to this. It's exactly what you do. Al Davis has to be rolling over in his grave today. He has to be rolling over in his grave with this. And more will come to light. I'll tell you that right now. More will come to light. It's just a matter of when. It's just a matter of how. It's not even a question of why anymore. He had no choice. Listen, he was going to get fired. He had no choice but to resign. No choice. And the funny thing is, he turned around and he says, I don't want to be a distraction. No. You are. You are. So congratulations, right? Congratulations on your emails that expressed racist, sexist, homophobic. Pretty much, let me just run through the masses and offend everyone. Good job. And ESPN wants to turn a blind eye. I mean, no disrespect to Dungy or Tirico. I don't want to hear, well, yeah, I worked with this guy for how many years? 7. We were on the road. We spent time together. Well, either you're hedging, either you really had no idea how this guy really thought, or you basically got played. I don't want to put really any blame on them, because really they're not to blame, but they're kind of waxing poetic the other night, and then everything comes to light. I guess you really don't know people at the end of the day. You really just don't. You know one thing, Gruden's out of a job, and this is not going away anytime soon. All right, 17 past 4 o'clock hour, just cranking it up on the Tuesday edition of BYP. We'll take a quick time out. Danny Burke on the other side, host of Rush Hour on Visa Live and right here on AM 1490 Sports Betting Radio. Lloyd Vance in the 5 o'clock hour. A lot of baseball to get into postseason is delivering, and then some. We will go around the league. Interesting week number 5 for many a team. Kickers had a bad week, and I'll tell you that right now. And then we will start to sneak peek into week 6. Keep it locked in right here on a Tuesday down the shore. Tuesday edition of BYP coming at you live inside the friendly confines of the AM 1490 Sports Betting Radio studios.